Okay, so we're going to be starting some kale from our friends John and Mel. And this is a particular kind of kale. It's sometimes known as dinosaur kale. So we're going to give it a shot. And we're going to try to do it two ways. I've never done this, so we're going to see. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to start some inside. And these are my, like I said, these are from Barefoot Farmer. Bootstrap Farmer, sorry. Anyway, Bootstrap Farmer, it says it right there. Anyway, so we're going to start some in here, and all I'm doing is, you know, you can use seed starting mix, but I'm just not going to do that. I'm just going to use plain old Stay Green potting mix plus fertilizer. And all I've done is I've put it in here, this tub, and I've mixed it with some water, and I'm just going to fill these up. Okay, and I'm just going to shove it in there. I want to give it a nice kind of hard foundation, so make sure that you pack it in there pretty good, so the seed has a place to grow. And also when you go to pop it out to transplant it, it's a sort of a bigger mass. All right. So basically what I'm going to do is do that, okay? And I'm going to do my kale, and it says start indoors 3 to 5 weeks before last frost, transplant outdoors 3 feet apart when plants have 2 sets of true leaves. So here in our zone, we just got switched to zone 8A. Our last frost date, my last frost date is around tax day. So on average, it's around tax day, April 15th. So kale tends to be a little bit more of a hardier vegetable, so you can kind of push the limits. It can take a little bit, but not a whole lot of frost, okay? So we're just gonna start these seeds. And we're gonna have these seeds inside for probably 2 to 3 weeks, I'd say. So that's gonna put us into mid-May or mid-March. So I think we're gonna be okay. Okay, and I try to put, I don't know, 2 or 3 seeds in each pod, because sometimes you don't know the germination. Sometimes they all may come up, sometimes none of them may come up. So I just hedge my bets and put multiple seeds in there. So then what I'm gonna do is, it says to here to sow these about a ½ inch of depth. So all I'm gonna do basically is just put some soil on, some soil on the top of those seeds. Okay. I'm gonna water it in just to kind of settle everything in there. And then I'll put that in a tray. But then the next thing I'm gonna do is, I've been trying this thing called winter sowing, where you take a jug like this and you actually start seeds outside. So the first thing I'm going to use, and I'm sorry I'm not using safety measures or whatever, is this awl, and I'm just going to poke some holes in the bottom of here just for drainage, okay? Just eyeball it, okay? Then the second thing we're going to do is we're just going to cut around here and sort of make a hinge, like a flap. And I've just got my utility knife. I'm just going to go around. Okay. Just leaving sort of a little flat so I can open it like that. Okay. Then I'm just going to fill this with dirt. Probably about 4 inches of dirt. That's good. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sow some of these seeds on the top. I don't know, they say in a container maybe somewhere around 20. I don't know. I'm just putting in whatever I just grabbed there, which is probably more like 30. Okay. And I'll just cover it up with some more dirt. And then what I'm gonna do, and I wanna make sure I water that in too, okay? Now some seeds need to be sown on the surface. You don't wanna cover them up, but not kale seeds. And then what I'm gonna do is just take some regular old packing tape here. Okay, get a big old piece of packing tape. And I'm gonna close this thing up. And it doesn't have to be perfect. You just want to kind of basically close it up so that the lid stays on there, because what we're trying to do is create like its own little mini greenhouse, okay? Okay. Sometimes you need that extra piece somewhere. Okay. All right, so then what I'm gonna just do is write on here with a Sharpie, kale, then I'm gonna write the date, which is 2/25. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take it outside and put it with my other jugs. And what it's gonna do is this is gonna create its own little greenhouse. And because it's moist in there, it's gonna collect rainwater, so you shouldn't have to water it, but if you see it gets dry, you might wanna mist in there a little bit. But we're gonna see I've never done this before, but we're gonna see what happens.